Let me paint a picture and tell me if this feels familiar. It's payday. You check your bank account. There's something in savings, not zero, but not impressive either. You're paying your bills, you're not late, your credit cards aren't maxed, and yet there's this quiet, constant feeling like you're one mistake away from falling apart. Like you're doing everything right, but somehow still losing. And what messes with your head is this. Everyone online looks rich. Everyone else seems ahead. Everyone else seems relaxed. Meanwhile, you're sitting there thinking, am I actually okay, or am I just surviving? Here's the thing most people don't realize. Financial progress doesn't feel good while you're building it. It feels boring. It feels slow. It feels invisible. And today, I want to show you, with math, psychology, and real-world benchmarks, that if you've hit a few very specific milestones, you are already way ahead of the chaos, even if your lifestyle doesn't look flashy at all. Because winning with money isn't about feeling rich, it's about margin. And calm beats chaos every single time. My name is Nate, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, how it actually works, why people feel broke even when the math says they're not, and how small, boring systems quietly build freedom. If you're someone who has a job, tries to be responsible, but still feels like money stress lives rent-free in your head, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if this video helps you breathe a little easier about where you actually stand, give it a thumbs up. It helps this reach people who really need to hear it. Now let's talk about the signs of financial health no one brags about. We've been taught to measure success using loud signals. Big houses, new cars, luxury vacations, I retired at 35 thumbnails. But those aren't financial health indicators. They're consumption indicators. Real financial health is quiet. It hides in plain sight, and most people don't recognize it until they've already lost it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You can look rich and be fragile. You can feel broke and be stable. And the reason so many people feel behind is because they're comparing their internal stress to other people's external spending. That comparison will always mess with your head. So instead of vibes, let's use math. Here's the simplest test of financial stability. If a $500 or $1,000 surprise expense hit tomorrow, what actually happens? No drama, no hypotheticals. What literally happens? According to the Federal Reserve's Survey of Household Economic and Decision-Making, about 37% of Americans cannot cover a $400 emergency with cash. They would need to put it on a credit card, borrow money, or skip the payment entirely. Now let's pause here. If you can cover $500 to $1,000 in cash without panic, you are already ahead of over 1/3 of adults. That's not motivational talk, that's math. Why this matters psychologically. Emergency savings isn't just about money. It's about how your nervous system behaves under stress. When you don't have cash, every surprise feels catastrophic. Every email from your bank spikes anxiety. Every unexpected bill feels personal. When you do have cash, problems stay problems. They don't become identity crises. That $1,000 doesn't just buy repairs, it buys emotional regulation. And regulated people make better decisions. Let's talk about something that never shows up on social media. Can you pay your bills without hoping something magical happens by Friday? No overdraft gymnastics, no timing games, no I'll move this here and pray. If your bills are paid on time, don't require mental gymnastics, don't rely on perfect timing, you're already ahead. According to the CFPB, over 25% of adults experience overdraft or late fees every year. Those fees aren't random, they're symptoms of zero margin. When you don't have margin, every dollar is spoken for. Timing matters more than totals. One delay breaks everything. When you do have margin, money becomes boring. Bills feel automatic, and your brain has space again. And space is wealth. Now let's talk about credit cards. Not the points, not the perks, not the influencer hacks, the balance.
If your credit card balance is shrinking month to month, paid off in full, or used intentionally and paid immediately, you are ahead of the curve. According to Experian, the average credit card balance in the US is over $6,000. That balance isn't because people are irresponsible, it's because life happens without buffers. Here's what most people don't realize. Credit card debt is often emergency debt in disguise. Car repairs, medical bills, basic survival expenses. So if your balance is going down or staying at zero, that means your life is no longer being financed at 22% interest. That's progress. Now this is where things really start to shift. Most people treat money like a single pile. Money comes in, money goes out, hope remains. That's not a system. That's gambling. Financially stable people assign money jobs before it ever arrives. This idea comes from you need a budget, profit first, behavioral economics, and even ancient accounting practices. Because the human brain hates ambiguity. If money doesn't have a job, it will be assigned one emotionally, and emotional spending is expensive. Here's the core buckets. You don't need 37 categories. You need bills and fixed expenses, short-term safety, emergency fund, long-term growth, investing. If you have those three, you're already running a better system than most households. Here's something no one likes hearing. Discipline is unreliable. Motivation fades, life gets busy, stress overrides logic. Systems don't care. If your bills are automated, savings transfers automatically, investments happen every week or paycheck, you've removed emotion from the equation. According to Vanguard, automatic investors outperform manual ones, not because they're smarter, but because they don't interfere. Automation isn't lazy, it's strategic. Let's talk about savings rate. If you're saving 10 to 20% of your income, you are mathematically ahead. Most Americans save less than 5%. And here's the mistake people make. They think saving 15% means living 15% worse. That's not true. It means buying flexibility, options, time. You're not losing money, you're converting income into future leverage. Let's do real math. $50 a week is $2,600 a year. At a conservative 7% real return, 10 years, approximately $36,000. 20 years, approximately $113,000. 30 years, approximately $265,000. That's one habit, one system, one decision repeated. Now imagine $100 a week. This is why consistency beats intensity. Not stock options, life options. When you have cash buffers, low debt, automatic investing, you can leave bad jobs, say no to toxic people, take risks without panic. Morgan Housel calls this the ultimate form of wealth. Not stuff, not status, control. Add up your housing, utilities, food, insurance, transportation. That's your baseline monthly burn. Now compare savings to that number. 1 month, floor. 3 months, shock absorber. 6 to 12 months, freedom runway. Most people never even build the floor. If you've built any layer at all, you're early, not late. Money is built in layers. 1, bills on time. 2, emergency cash. 3, debt reduction. 4, automation. 5, investing. 6, optionality. Skip layers and things collapse. Stack them and life gets quieter. You don't need to feel rich to be winning. If your bills don't scare you, surprises don't derail you, your future self is getting paid quietly every week, you're already ahead. The game isn't flash, it's calm. And calm wins. Every single time.